Hi there, viewers. Welcome to my views and news. Can you hear me? Thank you for responding with yes. Warm welcome to all of you. Samuel Faleke, A. Jimenez Siom, Horn Analyst, Horn of Africa, Information, Peace and Love, Abdi, Ababich, hello, Araya Voldekidan, Ababich, hello, uh, LA, SA, Abdisalam Usman, Abdir Rahman, Qasim. Thank you for joining. I am on mobile. Hirsi 42 Sigma A. How are you feeling today? Sigma says, I'm fine, Sigma. I'm feeling much better. Gizahagan says, Monet Media says, hello. Malin Tajir, please be fair for your information. Jimal Yaya says, hello. Mustafa Farah says, hi, Sajid. Hi, Mustafa. Adam Ibrahim says, hi. Tigisti says, you're always in my prayers. Thank you, Tigisti. Stay blessed. Semper Fidelis joined to welcome Semper Fidelis. Muhammad Omar, Mulugata Shimalis. Uh, thank you for being part of this live chat. Kalia Ijigo, Faleka Dasta. Getacho's interview. Kaliab is asking about Getacho's interview. Getacho gave an interview. Salman Samir says, hi, Sajid, how you feel? I'm better. I'm feeling much better. Muhammad Mikashao says, hi, hi. Getacho's interview, I'll do a video on that, but it isn't surprising. I did a video on the plight of Tigrayans. Abdi Hassan says, welcome. Sarah did a video 2 days ago, yesterday rather, and she told you about number of deaths happening in Tigray. So the attention which Tigray should receive, Tigray isn't getting. People are dying, but maybe federal government is preoccupied with other more pressing issues like war in Amhara, like operation against Ola, like access to port. That is why maybe. Otherwise, situation in Tigray is alarming. People are dying. So many issues, and it seems there is no immediate ray of hope for people if there is no intervention. Now, Siraj Muhammad joined to let me share just a roundup of coming news stories in this live chat. Firstly, uh, what is going to happen after a few hours in the Amhara region? Some big claims by top Amhara Fano leaders. What are they claiming? What could happen? They claim they have received information from inside. And secondly, Somaliland's case for recognition getting international attention. What is UK planning? Daily Express published an article today. Somalia is concerned, really concerned. Somalia's government officials are dismissing this article. Is UK considering the recognition of Somaliland? By the way, if you remember, around 2 weeks ago, I did a video about the Houthi versus West crisis in the Red Sea. I analyzed the situation and I said that this escalation could be beneficial for Somaliland's case for recognition. Now, it seems that my report was partially correct. We don't know what UK is planning. I'll share in detail what is happening in the UK, but it seems to be the linked to what is happening in the Red Sea. Coco Yoya says, is it going to be Britain versus Italy? Let's see. Too early to say. I think Somaliland was a British protectorate in the past. So there is this historical link as well between Somaliland and Britain. By the way, just one quick point I want to make before starting the live chat. 2 days ago, Somaliland shocked the affairs in Ethiopia appeared on OBN, an Ethiopian news outlet. And his interview is in English. You can watch that on OBN. And his name, I forgot his name, by the way. And he made it clear that Somaliland is committed to strengthening its ties with Ethiopia. I have been saying since day one, since the signing of this MOU, that Somaliland is seeing a real opportunity for recognition in the form of this MOU, for which Somaliland has been struggling for decades. That is why Somaliland won't withdraw from this MOU. If Ethiopia is ready to recognize Somaliland, Ethiopia is convinced as well. It is trying to just weather the international diplomatic storm. And after that, it wants to make its move. I've been saying that for weeks. I did a video yesterday. I summed up by saying that no one is withdrawing from this deal. Yes, Somalia has managed to put immense diplomatic pressure on Ethiopia. But today we got information about UN Security Council meeting. UN Security Council met this week behind closed doors. An Ethiopian Foreign Ministry spokesperson says Yemesken joined to one of the members. Warm welcome to you, Yemesken. Members can be recognized by the badges which are allotted to them when they join. You can be a member by clicking the link given in description section of this video. So UN Security Council has referred the Ethiopia-Somalia issue to IGAD and uh, African Union. Irmias M joined to, Sami joined to, all three are members. Warm welcome to you, Irmias, Sami, and Yemaskan. I encourage people to be members because soon we'll start member specific live chats too, maybe on some website too, where I can share my content more freely. There are restrictions on YouTube, everything cannot be shared here. So maybe we'll build a website where members will be there and we'll share with them all the required information. So the Sarah is fine. Monet Media became a member. Welcome, Monet Media. Sarah is fine. She'll do a video tomorrow. She got a break today. So she'll be back tomorrow. So UN Security Council has referred the matter to IGAD and African Union. I think it's a serious diplomatic setback to Somalia because IGAD and African Union are not known for resolving African conflicts impartially. They take sides. They always support the stronger side. Ethiopia has more influence over IGAD and African Union. African Union headquarters is in Addis Ababa. IGAD Secretary General is an Ethiopian. Workane Gebeyeho. Somalia should be concerned. I think Somalia's diplomatic campaign started well. Definitely, Somalia managed to put immense diplomatic pressure on Ethiopia, but now uh, tides seem to be turning with UN Security Council having no, someone is saying Double says IGAD sided with Somalia already. No, don't just believe their statements. Uh, IGAD will stand with Somalia if it asks Ethiopia to withdraw from the MOU. It will stand with Somalia if it condemns the MOU. Uh, if it warns Ethiopia. We have not seen this type of statement from IGAD, from African Union. African Union has only appointed a mediator who is not known for achieving anything so far, and that is Obasanjo. Obasanjo mediated Pretoria because US was behind him. So I see both IGAD and African Union irrelevant in this crisis. They cannot be. What did they do in Sudan? Have they done anything there? They become controversial there. IGAD became controversial there. African Union, uh, silent. So they're not expected to deliver. That is why Somalia should be concerned. The diplomatic onslaught started by Somalia went well, but now tides seem to be turning. Let's start with the first news story, which is about Somaliland. Then we'll focus on the second news story, which is about Amhar region of Ethiopia, because I'm talking mainly about Somalia, Ethiopia, Somaliland issue. Peace and Love has become a member too. I think Peace and Love was already a member. I think you have renewed your membership, Peace and Love. Am I right? Can I start with yours? First news story about Somalia, Somaliland, Ethiopia. EYL says Russia, Ethiopia has several things in common, and that is annexation. Tigane Admaso says yes. Okay. Monet Media says yes. So, AJ121, Klaus New says all say yes. UK, a UK based news source published an article today, I think. Daily Express is the name of this news source. And the news source claims that British Foreign Secretary has held some meetings. Agenda of the meetings is a recognition of Somaliland as a country. David Cameron is is British Foreign Secretary, not US, and I think he was appointed a few months in November. I think he was appointed UK Foreign Secretary. And he has held some meetings with those MPs who are pro Somaliland, who have been campaigning for recognition of Somaliland. Gavin Williamson is one of these MPs. He is former defense secretary. Gavin has held a meeting with David Cameron. It is being claimed by the Daily Express, British news source. And there, the two discuss the possibility of recognition of Somaliland as a country. Why is that this discussion is ongoing? Abdus Salam says fake news. Have you seen any denial of this news from British government, from David Cameron? If anyone has seen a denial, then it's a fake news. Then we can say it's totally fake. But I have not seen a denial so far. That is why I'm sharing it with you. Reportedly, the discussions were held in the backdrop of what is happening between Houthis and Western powers. Houthis are hitting targets in the Red Sea. They are targeting ships. Thank you, Mahari Yiftar, appreciating me. Mesfin says, I think member does not work in Ethiopia. Yes, membership does not work in Ethiopia. Wandi Megan says, I want to be a member. Well, you can click the link given in description section, but not in Ethiopia. It won't work in Ethiopia. Uh, so, uh, I said 2 weeks ago, if you remember, my regular viewers, I think, would confirm what I'm saying. Uh, Let me take you back to my video. I said that if Houthi versus US versus West confrontation goes on in the Red Sea, Somaliland will have a better chance of recognition. Why? Because in case of continued confrontation between the two sides, Westerners will have to have naval military presence in Red Sea countries. Somaliland is one of ideal places for such military presence. Self-declared country. Again, let me correct for those who say Saudi Somaliland is not a country. You talk about it as if it's a country. I never say that. That is why Britain is considering the recognition or discussions ongoing because Houthi versus West face off is set to go on. Americans conducted strikes, missile strikes, around 48 hours ago in Syria on Iranian proxies. Houthis are Iranian proxies. War is set to go on. It means that Westerners must have bases, military bases, naval bases in Red Sea countries. Which country is going to welcome these Westerners with open arms? One self-declared country is ready, and that is Somaliland. Somaliland offered a military base to the US, if you remember. When Musi Abdi visited the US last year, he offered a military base to the US in Somaliland in return for recognition. So, because of the conflict, peace and love. Yes, peace and love. I know you are a member on Patreon too, one of my first Patreon members, supporting my views and news for years. I'm I'm highly obliged. Uh, Thank you for being a Patreon member and a member here too. So uh, it means that this Houthi versus West conflict is a blessing in disguise for Somaliland, and it is a serious matter of concern for Somalia. Somalia will have to be very active diplomatically in coming days. You're going to see big changes. By the way, Somaliland hired lobbying firms have been working in Europe, in UK, in US for years. Somaliland has hired lobbying firms. That is what happens, especially in the US. And though US is opposing the MOU between Ethiopia and Somaliland, why? Because US fears that its fight against Al-Shabaab could be disrupted. Because Somalia says no matter what happens, it will stop Ethiopia. But US was ready to establish a military base in Somaliland a few months ago. Later, we saw that US officials visited the site and some work also started. We don't know what happened after that. So that is why it seems that Somaliland's case for recognition is gaining international attention. Somalia is badly in need of real allies, not just statements. Statements are not enough. If countries only issue statements and they do nothing, what is the use of these statements for Somalia? Somalia needs practical allies. Let's see. So, coming days are very crucial, I think. We're going to see big developments. Reportedly, Ethiopia and Somaliland are busy. They are drafting the deal. According to some people who were close to these developments, one of them got in touch with me. And reportedly, deal is being drafted. Some lawyers have been hired. Some international law firms have been hired. Why? Because this deal could be challenged at some international court. Somalia could take the matter to an international court, especially if Ethiopia recognizes Somaliland. That is why some reportedly Ethiopia and Somaliland have hired some international law firms because they are expecting a lawsuit from Somalia. So drafting is underway. We don't know when the deal will be actually signed. We don't know. But the two sides are fully committed to implement the MOU. Now, a few of your questions, then I'll talk about the second news story. Yeah, membership does not work in Ethiopia. You cannot be a member here. And I don't earn any money from Ethiopia, by the way, because there are no YouTube ads in Ethiopia, no membership. Though 30% of my channel's traffic is from Ethiopia. Joseph says it's rather fake news, it's a rumor. Well, I am referring to the source, and that is a news source, the Daily Express. I am not making up stories. I am telling you what has been published in the magazine. And secondly, I am telling you about what I learned through some sources about drafting of the deal. So, what, no rumor. There is no rumor. Well, it's up to you to trust me or not, but I trust my sources. Dawud Media says Ethiopia will lose its unity for sure over this MOU or some other issue. What do you mean? Will Ethiopia succeed? I don't know if succeed is the right word, but Ethiopia is fully convinced that it will implement the MOU. I said, by the way, Ethiopia can only be stopped if a better deal is offered to Ethiopia. When I say that, people say, "Sir, you support Ethiopia. Why should a country offer a better deal to Ethiopia?" The countries are not obliged to offer better deals. I say it's a business deal. Countries should be keen to attract Ethiopian business. They shouldn't waste this opportunity. Djibouti wasted the opportunity by taking some measures, by not forming a strategic relationship with Ethiopia. Djibouti will suffer, you'll see. And the country which will receive Ethiopian uh, imports, exports in coming years will benefit from this deal. Raghai Dannan says, "Aj, you were never fair to Somalia." By the way, a lot of Somalis complain. They say, "Sajid, you are not fair to Somalia." I don't know why they complain. I am unable to understand. I just analyze the situation. I am not pro Ethiopia or anti Ethiopia, pro Somalia, anti Somalia. But I analyze the situation based on ground reality. I don't go deep into the history. Problem is that people want to go back to what happened decades ago, and they link this business deal to the past, uh, which for me is a little bit difficult to understand. I think Somali region supports SSC. Someone is saying, well, did Somali region support SSC when SSC was fighting Somaliland forces? I don't think so, because I covered what happened in Lesson. My region was accused, but we never got any confirmation. No, I'm talking about on government level. Did Ethiopian military, Ethiopian intelligence agencies support SSC Khartoum or Somaliland government against SSC Khartoum? No, we never saw the smoking gun to say that. There could be some elements because there are tribal links. There could be some elements supporting, but to say that Ethiopian government or Somali region's government supported one party in the conflict in SSC in Lassanud would be unfair. Mustafa says, are you a real anti-Somali? What will I get from being anti-Somalia? Do Ethiopia, do Ethiopians pay me? Does Ethiopian government pay me? Uh, I've been accused of being anti-Tigray, pro-Tigray, anti-Amhara, pro-Amhara, anti-Ola, pro-Ola, anti-Ethiopia, pro-Ethiopia, anti-Eritrea, pro-Eritrea, and now anti-Somalia. And one day people will say you are pro-Somali, anti-Ethiopia. So it will go on, by the way. EYL says you're a Russian mouthpiece. Come on. Alim joined to Alim is a member to welcome Alim. Warm welcome to you. Yeah, I saw that interview of Somaliland shocked affairs in Ethiopia on OBN. I watched that interview. That is in English. What if Somalia recognizes Tigray? Tigray does not want to be recognized. And Somalia is not connected with Tigray geographically, so it won't make any difference. Abdi Rahim Farah says ASC. Someone is saying Western bases can be based in Somalia and Djibouti. In Djibouti, already there are so many Western bases. Somalia can host as well, but I think Somaliland is more stable than Somalia. Nathan Adiso says, hi, Sajid. Hi, Nathan. How are you? No, someone is again asking about the MOU. Is Ethiopia withdrawing? No, it's not. Conquer the Stars, thank you for buying this super chat. Conquer the Horn, could you write your question again? Somalia Sometimes people write comments without uh, giving proper thought to the comment. Someone is saying that Somalia will recognize Amhara. Amharas are not fighting for Amhara country, by the way. It's not their official agenda. Teddy fan, welcome. Welcome, Teddy fan. Conquer the Han, could you write your comment, your question again? Badra Yusuf joined from Somaliland. Welcome, Badra. Elim, could you write again what that man asked? From tomorrow, I'll try to connect my laptop because then it becomes easy for me to read your comments. I can slow down the speed as well of comments. Uh, yeah, I think I got the point now. I got the question now. How important is PM Abiy and his moves for East Africa? That is what you are asking. Uh, firstly, I think Abiy is tackling mainly internal challenges. Since he came to power, starting from 2018, though he signed a pact with Eritrea, with Somalia, but immediately after that, you saw that his government was caught up internally. War in Tigray, purely internal conflict. Eritrea became involved, but it was basically an Ethiopian internal conflict. Then, immediately after the war in Tigray came to an end, warlike situation in Amhara, second internal conflict. Now, Ola fighters also exerting pressure. Two strikes in Oromia in 1 month. In partly successful strikes. Pano still a force to reckon with, and government had to extend the state of emergency yesterday for 4 months. By the way, the extension in the state of emergency has not gone well with the US and EU. Both spoke today. American ambassador to Ethiopia and EU envoy to Ethiopia, Roland, spoke today. They expressed their concern about extension in the state of emergency in Ethiopia. They said people's fundamental rights must be respected, and they called for dialogue. So they're not happy with this extension, it means. And I think Abiy's prospects for getting a bailout package from the West are very dim now. Why? Because of this extension in the state of emergency. I don't think IMF will allow a bailout package for Ethiopia in coming days. And EU was considering release of budgetary support for Ethiopia. I think it won't come either. US won't lift, US won't reinstate Ethiopian status as a Goa member. African Growth Opportunity Act, under which some Ethiopian exports had duty-free access to US markets. Why? Because of this state of emergency extension. So, coming back to the question, I think Abiy is mainly fighting on internal fronts. Ethiopian Ethiopian position as a regional player during Abiy's era suffered a serious hit. Ethiopia was a major player, but did you see Ethiopia mediate between big countries or African countries in the past 5 to 6 years? No, rather, other countries were mediating to resolve conflicts in Ethiopia. Yes, Ethiopia has its troops in Somalia or troops in Abyei too, but these troops were deployed before Abiy came to power, I think. Abiy is not a big regional player, I think. Abiy is only fighting on internal fronts. And that MOU with Somaliland, basically, it's an Ethiopian internal desire to gain access to the sea. Ethiopia is not mediating between Somaliland or Somalia. It's not becoming a party. Rather, it wants to protect its own interests. So Abiy is basically preoccupied with internal issues. But internal and external issues are linked. That is why East Africa, Horn of Africa, will definitely feel the impact of Abiy's decisions. A few weeks ago, it seemed as if Ethiopia and Eritrea were on a collision course. Now, yes, Ethiopia and Somalia are on a collision course. So, an internal matter could lead to a war in the Horn of Africa. Yes, I agree with that. And we must not forget what is happening on Ethiopia Sudan border. I did a video 2 days ago, detailed video. Please do watch this video. Thousands of people, thousands of Sudanese fighters from Darfur, from Al Jazeera state, from Blue Nile state are being trained close to Ethiopian border. Eritrea are training thousands of Sudanese fighters from 4 different armed factions. The war in Sudan is set to reach Ethiopian border, Eritrean border as well. So overall, 2024 is going to be a very challenging year for the Horn of Africa, for East Africa. It's not just because of Abiy's decisions. There are other factors too. Thank you, Yamaskin, for buying this super chat. Thanks. Thank you. First, let me speak on the second topic, which is about Ethiopia, which is about the Amhara region of Ethiopia. Let me start, viewers. Let me speak. Yamasgan, this news is going to be of interest for you. Well, David Georgius is Amhara Popular Front foreign affairs head. When earlier this year, Skandar Naga, former Ethiopian politician, founded Amhara Popular Front, he appointed David Georgius, who is a former military officer. He served during Derg era, I think, if I am not wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. He appointed David Georgius as the head of foreign affairs of Amhara Popular Front, APF. David is connected, well connected with the groups fighting in Amhara region, Fano groups. And David is raising funds as well for Fano groups. And he's been visiting several countries. He visited Israel too, some European countries too, and reportedly has been trying to build uh, an image of acceptable image. Thank you, Haig Antarani Kion, for buying this super chat. So David is trying to build a good image of Fano fighter. Secondly, people say he has been trying to negotiate deals to procure weapons for Fano fighters. So he's working basically on diplomatic front for Fano fighters. Uh, the man today claimed that he has received information from inside that from Sunday, uh, Ethiopian government is going to start a major operation in the Amhara region. And this operation will involve the use of jets, drones, bombers, etc. Uh, After David Wolde George's statement, this claim, I contacted my sources to get confirmation. They confirmed that. They say that according to the information which they have received, Ethiopian government is planning another round of major operation against Fano group starting from Sunday. And this major operation will involve the use of Air Force, fighter jets, bombers, drones. And we saw a similar air operation against Fano fighters a few weeks ago. And Fano fighters suffered some losses, if you remember, in some parts of the Amhara region. Very precise drone strikes were conducted, and some dozens of Fano fighters were killed. I remember several videos back then. Though main Fano commanders survived, and only one was slightly injured, I think. That air campaign pushed Fano fighters on the back foot. Later, we saw that that air campaign could not continue. Now it seems that after the state of emergency extension yesterday, Ethiopia military has decided to start another round of air operation against Fano fighters. Let's see. We're monitoring. I hope you'll stay in touch with me because it's people, the viewers, who correct me when I make mistakes, who provide me with information in advance. And that is how we are able to report. By the way, it's difficult to get information from the Amhara region because pro-Fano outlets are spreading propaganda. No international media has access to Amhara region. Numerous organizations have no access to the Amhara region. And sometimes internet is down too. Networks, mobile networks are suspended too. So it's difficult to get information, but somehow we get information, verify and share with you. It means that this week, uh, starting from Monday, is crucial. We could see this operation start on Sunday or in the next week, starting from Monday. And if Fano, again, I would say, air operation would test Fano fighters like it did last time. Fano fighters suffered losses, but air operation cannot go on forever. Fano fighters have received information in advance. That just shows how their intelligence collection system is working. They have a very effective intelligence collection network system. They have people inside the government. They receive information from inside the government. That is how they're able to protect themselves. Skandanaga visited Shoa, Gujum, Wolo. No one could trace him. Zamine Kasi also holding meetings. Gondar Fano holding organizational meetings to create organizational setup. Shoa Fano holding meetings too. several factions uniting, but government does not have information about the whereabouts of these Fano commanders. Not a single Fano commander has been killed so far in these airstrikes, drone strikes as well. But let's see. We know that Ethiopian military has bought some real deadly weapons in the past few weeks, starting from Akinji drones to new Su uh, jets to Altarik uh, guided bomb system, which has made Ethiopian Air Force capable of hitting targets precisely on the ground. So, coming week is crucial for Ethiopia about the operation against Fano in Amhara and about Ethiopia Somaliland MOU. It was 47 minutes have passed. No, LM is saying they need to have intelligence about where the ground control station of drones are, and they should carry out attacks. It would be difficult for them because I have been saying for months that the GCS of drones are not deployed in Amhara region. People disagree with me. They said, Sajid, the GCS are in Amhara. I don't agree with them. Ethiopian government won't risk the deployment of GCS to the Amhara region. GCS are not in Amhara. They could be in Afar, in BG, in Valaga, in Oromia, Addis Ababa, maybe Tigray too, but not in Amhara. Yeah, Yemaskan, if Merivada Joe has spoken, please do share his video with me because he has been silent, relatively silent. The man is not known to be silent. Regularly, he used to appear in interviews, but then he suddenly went quiet, as if there were some issues between Merivadajo and the Fano commander. So, if his interview is new, do share the content with me. 48 minutes have passed, viewers. I think we should end this live chat session. It was good to be with you. These live chats are always refreshing because I speak freely. And you criticize me freely as well, by the way. You exchange views, you criticize me, you ask questions, I respond to your comments, questions. So I like the interactive nature of these live chats because the videos I make are not interactive. Live chats are interactive, they keep me connected with you people. Thank you for watching. I think we should end this live chat here. Again, I would say those viewers who are from Somalia, I am not anti Somali. But don't expect that I would support Somalia because I am a Muslim. I am from Pakistan. No. Religion has nothing to do with my reporting. Nationality has nothing to do with my reporting. Reporting would be fair, no matter what the topic is. I am not anti or pro anyone, but I'll ensure that my reporting is according to the ground reality. Not, I don't want to base my reporting on what happened decades ago between Ethiopia and Somalia. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow in the next live chat session. Stay blessed. Bye bye.